WYBT.
We are going to get it going.
Time you can bowl in something like this where it's just that hard and you can basically survive mentally, physically, emotionally. It's awesome.
That's that high flush pocket strike, and that's going to do it.
They came back in the end and were able to finish the job. That shows why that they're a nationally ranked program.
Got into this championship match and now are just absolutely putting on a show.
This tournament live stream is a special presentation of Bowling with the FAF.
Good morning, everyone. Just
We also, it's not better.
introductions.
Okay, for the boys, we also have Luke Winter,
We'll call her
Clark Bonwell,
acting tournament director Ellen Singer on the microphone.
Levi Gabrielese, Alvin Williams, Trey Henriksmeyer, Dawson Cole, Braden Mallett, Henry Leakey, and Carter Westcott. The boys team, all-star team. For the girls, we have the captain, Mackenzie Matisse. It's early for me, guys. Maggie Porter, Ashley Bowe, Addison Cole, Ashley Kozel, Angie Steinke, Olivia Baskin, Hannah Hale, Issa Cologne, and Rand Calsto.
MJBT bowlers, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wait, how about like, ooh, that's going to be
over there.
little antenna. There we go. Got dual microphone duty. All right, how's this? On the boys' side, we have Zach Andreessen,
This is MJBT.
Lucas
tournament
Herzrud,
director Darren Hansen, making
Drake
his
Waite,
introduction.
Dakota France, Dylan McCauley, Trevor Rauma, Blake Hansen, Adam Azeltine, Cody Adams, and Joseph Woods Wiseman. And on the ladies' side, Callie Trisky, Lily Topinka, Alyssa Hessler, Addison Johnson, Jenna Reeder, Zoe Skinner, Taylor Letha, Claire Jacobson, Emma Dirksen, and Ashley Gorman.
All right, I want to thank Wagner's Lanes for having us again this year. Today's tournament is for a total of 80 points. Whichever team gets to 41 points first will win. You should all be able to see the schedule for the day as well as the live scoring. So if you're not sure how to get there, you can ask your team captains or come see Darren or I. Before lunch, there will be 2 rounds of singles, 2 games each, and the first round of doubles. We're going to reseed before the second round of singles. Then after lunch, we have the reseeded second round of doubles, and then the team event. Scholarships will be given out to players with the highest averages and points earned, as well as the ATT. Today and tomorrow, the WYBT is having a ball raffle. It's $5 a card. We're going to run 1 raffle for today and tomorrow. So we'll ask you to put your name and your phone number on the half that we keep, just in case you're not going to be here tomorrow. And then we'll be able to mail you that card out so you can get your ball. If you need the QR code for the live stream today, which is provided by Andrew Pfeffer, there is a paper at the main desk, at the tournament desk, and he also has one too if you need that QR code. All right, then your lanes will be coming on for 10 minutes of practice.
All right, so here we go, starting up practice at Border Battle 2025 here at Wagner's Lanes in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. A great day of bowling with all-star teams from the Wisconsin Youth Bowlers Tour as well as the Minnesota Junior Bowlers Tour. You've got teams of 10 boys and 10 girls on each side. And they will be competing for the third time. This is a third annual event. First started back in 2023. I was privileged to be able to live stream that event. Had a little conflict last year, but they went on without me. And here we are back in 2025. So as the athletes are getting warmed up, we'll bring you here into the broadcast booth. Good morning, everyone. Andrew Pfeffer here on the Bowling with the Pfeff channel at Wagner's Lanes in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Happy to have you with us, whether it be live or on replay. You can access this both ways. But for now, we are live Saturday morning and getting ready for some great action, singles, doubles, and team events for all these bowlers, boys and girls. It's going to be a blast. If it's anything like the first one, it'll be a blast. And I have full faith that this is going to be some exciting competition here today. Why don't we start out with some of the team rosters so you can kind of get familiar with the names. We'll get the faces to those names as we kind of make our way through this here. On the girls' side, this is the MJBT roster, the roster from Minnesota, including Callie Trisky, Lily Topinka, Alyssa Hessler, Addison Johnson, Jenna Reeder, Joey Skinner, Taylor Letha, Claire Jacobson, Emma Dirksen, and Ashley Gorman. You did hear these introductions, at least most of them, when we went on live this morning, but just in case you missed them. On the boys' side, for MJBT, you've got Zach Andreessen, Lucas Hersrud, Drake Waite, Dakota France, Dylan McCauley, Trevor Rauma, Blake Hansen, Adam Azeltine, Cody Adams, and Joseph Woods Wiseman. On the WYBT side, here are the girls who will be competing today. Maggie Porter, Ashley Bowe, Addison Cole, Ashley Kozel, Mackenzie Matisse, Angie Stanky, Olivia Baskin, Hannah Hale, Issa Colin, and Rayanne Kalsto. And on the boys' side, you've got Luke Winter, Clark Bonnewell, Levi Gabriels, Aubin Williams, Trey Henriksmeyer, Dawson Cole, Braden Malish, Henry Leachy, Robert Vader, and Carter Westcott. I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm sure I've butchered some of these names. And hopefully, as we get going here, we'll, get more familiar with the correct pronunciation of these names as we go. Yeah, James St. James says, ban two-handers and lefties. Well, I'd be in trouble if that happened. I'm trying to get accustomed to the two-handed style. It's going to be a work in progress. But, yeah, for now, all's good. Stay behind the foul line. No thumb hole if you're throwing without a thumb, and you're good to go. Here's the oil pattern that they're on for the morning. This is a longer pattern than they'll be tasked with competing on this afternoon. More games in the morning session. They'll have singles and part of the doubles. And then this afternoon, the doubles concludes along with the team matches. So let's start with the singles, the format for this thing, right? You've got 2-game total pinfall matches, and winning each match earns the Players Tournament Tour 1 point. So on each pair, you've got 2 matches going on. Here are the matchups for those single matches. And after the first round of singles, they will reseed and do it all over again. So I don't have those matchups, but I can tell you what we're starting with. And here they are. Winter versus Andreessen down on 3 and 4, along with Bonniewell and Hersrud. Lanes 5 and 6, Porter and versus Trisky. Bow versus Topinka. 7 and 8, you've got Gabriels versus Waite. Williams versus France. And then you get into the matches that you'll see here on the live stream pairs, 9 and 10 and 11 and 12. You've got Cole versus Hessler, Kozel versus Johnson, the ladies on 9 and 10. Then on the boys' side, Henriksmeyer versus McCauley and Cole versus Rauma. So those are the 4 matches you'll see in this first round of singles. Moving on to the other matchups that are going on simultaneously. Matisse versus Reeder, Steinke versus Skinner, and then Malish versus Hansen, Leachy versus Azeltine. Those are on 15 and 16. On 17 and 18, you've got Baskin versus Letha, Hale versus Jacobson. And then on 19 and 20, Vader versus Adams, and Westcott versus Woods Wiseman. Take a look at that that matchup between Baskin and Letha on 17 and 18. You've got 2 incoming freshmen for National Championship Ladies Program Youngstown State battling against each other. So that's interesting. Then on the end pair here, 21 and 22, Colin versus Dirksen and Kalstow versus Gorman. This is a 26-lane center. However, they will not be using the real end pair of 25-26. They'll only be going through 21 and 22, at least for this event. So again, the competitors are in the midst of practice right now. We'll get things going here shortly. Big thank you going out to the MJBT WYBT for bringing me on to provide the live stream of this event. Always appreciated. Oh, and thank you, Zach, for sending over some all-star bios. So I'll try and look those up and see what we got here as far as some of the stories behind these all-stars, at least on the Wisconsin side. And perhaps Mr. Hansen can fill us in on the Minnesota side. Also, a big thank you to Wagner's Lanes, not only hosting this event, but for accommodating me. Always a pleasure to live stream here because they know the routine. They're familiar with my needs, and they're only about 8 minutes away from my house. So that makes this nice and easy. Always a pleasure to do some live streaming right here. If you are joining us live, feel free to use that live chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from, who you're cheering for. If you have any questions that we can answer for you. And if you're watching on replay, leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing. And as always, please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of content. Really does make a big difference for me. But no matter what, I certainly appreciate everyone tuning in. All right.
You guys can hold up on your practice now. Just lanes 3 and 4. We're going to keep going. We lost about 2 minutes with the ball return issue. Yes, if you have time left, keep on.
So we will get things going here on our live stream pairs 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 as the competitors get set to start up their singles competition.
All right,
All right, good to see Constance Williams live in the chat. Watching live from Brown Deer, cheering for Aubin Williams. And Aubin Williams is just off to our left right now. He's starting his singles match on lanes 7 and 8. So you might catch a little pinfall there from him. And yeah, Mr. Williams, a member of the All-Star team from the Wisconsin Youth Bowlers Tour. Constance says, thanks for hosting live and good luck to all the bowlers. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, Aubin is fortunate enough to do some or a lot of bowling at Brown Deer Lanes. That's one of the places where I started my bowling journey. We lived in Brown Deer for about 7-8 years when I was growing up.
all right, now we are ready. Good luck and good bowling.
And I think I've got some scores backwards here, or not the right camera. Not the right camera view. Let's see if we can do something about that. Hopefully we can consider that a win if that's the worst thing that happens. I think that should be a little better. Hope so, anyway. As the gentleman from the Wagner's staff clears a little deadwood on lane 12. Almost took down that split. Addison Johnson didn't quite get enough of the two pin, but great try at it. Again, these are 2-game total pinfall matches, so some of these players with a little slow start, but they've got some time to get caught up there as Kozel connects on lane 9. And a 10-pin conversion from Trey Henriksmeyer, who just finished up his freshman year at Wichita State University. I think it's his first time back in Eau Claire since before college. First time back in Eau Claire? Yeah. So glad to see him back here at the place where he really started making waves over the last few years. There's Aubyn's big brother. That's him throwing on 8. He's the one who went up high and left a 3.610. Says, let's go, Aubyn. Big brother here. Appreciate the support and tuning in. And that was actually his third frame. It's the first time he didn't strike, so he's off to a nice start, but he's also looking at an opponent with the front 3 on the other side of him as he covers that spare. So this is just the start of what the folks around here are calling All-Star Weekend, as there's a combination WYBT MJBT event going on tomorrow here at Wagner's. I believe they've had about 85 entries or so, so great turnout there. And glad for the folks putting that on. And And you can see Dylan McCauley right in front of you on lane 11 there. If he's not the tallest one in the field, he's got to be close. That's why his head is a little cut off there and to get the scoring in. Nice double for Trey. Here's Dawson Cole working on a double of his own. Up a little light and left a 2-pin. And covers up that spare. And another split there for Johnson. Or no, she took it out. Dropped that 10-pin. She'll just have the 2-8 to deal with. We've seen a few splits in the early going here. Really all 4 lanes. If you're looking for live scoring, we will bring that to you over the course of the morning and afternoon. Again, it's a race to 41 points. See which tournament tour will emerge victorious here. You can also find that link on both the MJBT and WYBT Facebook pages. Here's Alyssa Hessler right in front of us here on lane 10. Working on the front 3. And that one didn't quite climb the hill. She'll shoot it a 2.45. As Henriksmeyer slams his 3rd in a row. Nice break for Addison Cole there, tripping out the 4-pin. And Hessler sliding by there on that spare attempt. So again, it's a 26-lane center here. We are bowling singles right now on lanes 3 through 22. Hessler crosses over, can't quite get that 10 to fall, so she'll take aim at that. Another More Deadwood on 12 as his parents back here cheer. Dawson Cole trying to turn one into a double, and ooh, light hit. And got the 5 out, but not the 7-10. Trey's on your right, working on a 3-bag. And turns it into 4. So little hiccup in the first with a split, but since then has been rolling. Trevor Rauma connects for a strike. He's a class of 2026 high schooler from Isanti, Minnesota. He was a winner in the MJBT in September of 24. There's a nice hit from Addison Johnson. And she's a River Falls native, but bowls in the MJBT, as those tournaments are a little closer to her hometown than the Wisconsin ones. Jamie says thank you to the Singer family for all they do for these youth bowlers, cheering for WYBT and Clark Bonnewell at home in Dixon, Illinois. Well, thank you for tuning in. And yeah, big thank you to Zach and Ellen. They make it work. They really do. They work hard at these events, and Zach from a distance, Ellen here at Wagner's. Here we go. There's Brent Prentice, the Cedarvale guy, saying hello, good luck from the oldest MJBT winner, and that's a fact. Good luck, everyone. Love the border battle idea. Yeah, Brent was a winner back in 1994 when MJBA transitioned to MJBT. And I'm going to try and take a guess at which center that was. Was that the one in Brainerd? Was that Brainerd Bowl that happened? I feel like it was either Brainerd or Alexandria. But yeah, Brent won a lot of them. MJBT, MJBA. Oh, there you go, Texatonka in August of 94. Okay. So I was nowhere near it, but at least I had the year right. And Macaulay hits his third in a row. So Brent says it all started in the banquet room. The switch from MJBA to MJBT. The late Chris Gamick, and he needed to make a change, and the rest is history. Yeah, and that has been a change that has lasted more than 30 years. Not to date any of us or make us feel older than we are, but yeah, nearly 31 years ago. Nice shot from Rauma there in the ninth. He's got the last four. So Trey's working on a double here. And up high. Didn't quite get the 10 out, but he'll be in the low 220s. That's a nice start. Although, again, these are 2-game total pinfall matches, so everybody's got a chance to build on what they've got or regroup after one. And a nice cover of the 10-pin. So 222 for Trey. Dawson Cole, 184 on the other side there. And Sam, who is literally, I think, 6 feet away from me, and even that's a stretch, says, "Thanks for live streaming. Let's go, Wisconsin." On the bio sheet, Trey is listed as Two Rivers, Wisconsin, because that's where his parents live right now. But I'm going to disagree with that. He's an Eau Claire guy. So both Rauma and McCauley are on some strikes. Rauma got the last 6. He's going to try a different bowling ball here. And McCauley snaps that 10 out for 199. So nice finish in a game with a couple opens in the middle there. But, yeah, he's come back nicely. And it's 9 out of that one. So 244. Nice game from Rauma, leading the pair. And grabbing himself a nice lead out of that first game. Brent says on one other note, thank yous to all the parents and others to get these kids to tournaments. We would be nowhere without you. And I second that. It's a lot, for these kids to get out here and compete and all that stuff. And without the support and courier services of the parents, yeah, we don't get to see them. So a big thank you to all the parents, many of whom are back here beside and behind me as Dawson Cole starts out his second game with a strike. .134 and 147 for Cole and Kozel on the ladies' side here on 9 and 10. Hessler coming off a strike here in the 10th. Didn't quite get up, so you can pick that up for 162. Started out with the front 3, but struggled through the middle there with a few opens along the way. Hessler is out of Farmington, Minnesota, bowls at Farmington Lanes, and is a freshman at Lindenwood University. And she ends up with 162. All 4 gentlemen on the right have started out with strikes. Trey's got a double, and Dawson will try and pick up that 2-pin. Dawson from Oostburg, Wisconsin, which is over by Sheboygan, and keeps it clean. A 169 for Johnson. finish out their first game. So first of a 2-game total pinfall match here. And the matchups, although it's kind of hard to tell from our vantage point since opponents are typically across from each other on the pair, are actually on the same lane. So, for example, you've got Dawson Cole up on 11 now, and he's bowling against Trevor Rauma, who's on the same lane with him. Kind of like on the other side, Macaulay is bowling against Henriksmeyer. And Rauma continuing where he left off in game 1, the front 3 now in the second game here. So this is Mark signing in. Thanks for streaming because I'll most likely not make it today. Sad face. Well, we'll miss seeing you, Mark. Good to see you out here yesterday practicing, though. And there is more bowling coming up tomorrow with that combined event. Lots of entries and great competition. So it's certainly not just today, although today is the border battle as Kozel connects on lane 9 to start out her second game. Kozel is a second-year student at UW Oshkosh, right in her hometown. Again, we'll be reseeding for another round of singles after these matches are over. So we'll have some, at this point, mystery players coming to our live stream pairs. Depends on where everybody's at as Dawson Cole crumbles the 1, 2, and 4. And then it's on to the doubles competition after that. It's kind of cold in here. At least it is when you're not bowling. But I'll tell you what, when I'm a little chilly, I just throw on the old Bowling with the Pfeff hoodie, and I'm good to go. You like that? Yeah, seamless. Wow. Over off to our left, Drake Waite was working on the front five, threw one up high that collapsed. It looked like the 6, 7, 10. They all fell. So he's got 6 in a row to start out his second game as Kozel buries the pocket as she's struck both times on lane 9 in the early going here in game number 2. Cole catches another nice break as the 2, 4, and 5 go down. You got to have that sometimes, you know? Hessler's had a tough run of it in the early going in this second game. She says that the highlight of her MJBT career is making the cut several times. And she was first team All-State in both 2024 and 2023. And shakes out the left side there. And another strike for Rauma. He is rolling on 11 and 12. 244 to start. And 6 out of the first 7 in game 2. Might have seen that nice break off to the left on lane 8. That was Levi Gabriels. Probably butchering his name, but that was his 7th strike in a row. There's another one for Trey. So here's Addison Cole looking for her 5th in a row to start out this second game. And a little bit light. Couldn't get the 8 out. And spare for her in the 5th. She's got quite a bowling resume. 2-time SYC champ. She's a USA Bowling National Champion, 11-time EYT champion in the Chicago area, 3-time Youth Open champion. She's got a WYBT title. Good stuff. Wow, had that pin going all around the 10 pin, did Trevor Rauma, but couldn't take it down. Big thanks to everyone who's watching live this morning. This is the Border Battle 2025, the all-star teams of the Minnesota Junior Bowlers Tour and the Wisconsin Youth Bowlers Tour. In competition here at Wagner's Lanes in Eau Claire, Wisconsin for the 3rd consecutive year. And you're watching the second of a 2-game opening singles match for both girls and boys. There's a 4th in a row for Trey Henriksmeyer, who knows this center very well, possibly better than any center that he's bowled at, and he's bowled at many. Down goes the 9 for Trey. He can hit the next 2 for 268. And he'll be well ahead of his opponent, McCauley, who's max out at 172. Looked like he didn't love that, but wow, that messenger had some spice. And a good place for that. Crossing over, leaving a 5-pin, 267. So a great start for Trey, 220, 260. And that will certainly be enough to get the point for the WYBT. Nice shot by Cole there in the 7th. She can still run a string here and get into the 250s. Rauma gets a nice break on the crossover. 2 more, and he's at 256. Again, they will reseed after the first singles match, and we will have a new set of competitors here on our live stream pairs as Rauma hits his second in the 10th. And 151 for Macaulay. And 255 for Trevor Rauma. Nice performance in this opening match. 240, 250. Nothing wrong with that. And Cole's 8th frame went up high and left a 4.610. So a little trouble for her in the late going in this game, but she's got a pretty healthy lead as she takes the count. Great shot there from Addison Johnson. Off to the left, she's talking strategy with Taylor Letha, who must have finished her match already, and it's over here giving a little guidance. Nice break for Kozel there on the right. Hits her first strike in the 10th as she grabs another bowling ball. Cool stuff about her. She says she designed, drew, and painted on the Veterans Memorial Wall at her high school, organized senior night for their special needs sports league, and she works with Special Olympics all around Wisconsin. Great stuff. Takes down the 7 for another strike. So a 7 count there, 187 for her. 201 on the other side for Addison Cole. As the MJBT ladies finish up in this first match. I'm guessing the two Coles, Addison and Dawson, are brother and sister. Both from the same hometown. Both bowling out of Elks Lodge in Oostburg. As Johnson finishes out her 10th frame here. Got a handful of that one, but couldn't quite take down the 7 pin, so it's 180 as they finish up that first match. Again, they will have live scores on their live scoring page. And we will toss that link here in chat for you. You can also find that on the Facebook pages of the two tours. It's a long address. Hopefully that link works. And again, they do reseed for the second of the singles matches. So we'll find out who is coming here to compete in front of us shortly. You see Ellen frantically working on tabulating those scores to our left. There are still some competitors finishing out their match off to the right. It's Carter Westcott over there. Whose name you may recognize from his not only junior bowling in this area, but also bowling for UW Whitewater, the ITC national champions. So again, if you head over to that live scoring link, you'll see a display like this under the standings tab. This is the All-Star standings. So again, these scores are being tabulated right now. So although it shows MJBT 5, WYBT 3.5, that doesn't necessarily represent what the outcome is after all of the matches here. Because some of them are just getting finished up, others still being entered into that live scoring spreadsheet.
Tell everybody you can call me if I answer the phone. If I don't answer the phone, then it's more important than you. Right. which is nice when I carry my personal phone because
So what I can tell you, again, this is straight from the live scoring page. You can see that Luke Winter pulled out a close victory over Zach Andreessen, 444 to 437. Lucas Hersrud, 438 to Clark Bonnywell's 384. Drake Waite, 537 for the two games, 250 and 270 in there. And he is easily ahead of the rest whose scores have been tabulated so far.
things to listen to, and then I'll just
Wonder if he's around. Maybe we could catch a word with him. Give me a second. I'll see if I can hunt him down. Excuse me.
phone calls for about 5 of the guys nonstop every couple of days. They can't figure anything
Hey.
out, or they can't
Yeah, have a seat. Got the very tall Drake Waite joining us here in the booth. Nice bowling.
Thank you.
I didn't catch a lot of it, because I was kind of focused on 9 through 12. But
Yeah.
you put up a nice number. What went right for you?
Well, in practice, I was trying to play up the gutter, and I just wasn't seeing it. And then I saw my doubles partner, Dakota. He kind of just he was playing more inside line, so I figured if I just really sand my super strong hypnotize, it would be enough to push through. And then it just was striking. I was throwing pretty hard, but I felt pretty good out there. Warm up was rough, but
Yeah.
I got comfortable. Loose.
So listen up for your last game.
Cool. I don't want to keep you. They're putting out lane assignments, so best of luck. But
Thank you.
great bowling.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, on lane 5, Henriksmeyer and Waite. On lane 6, Winter and France. On lane 9, Gabriels and Rama. On lane 10, Vader and Adams. Lane 13, Dawson Cole and Hersrud. And 14, Leakey and Andreessen. 17, Westcott and Wood Wiseman. 18, Williams and Hanson. 21, Bonwell and Azeltine. 22, Malish and McCauley. For the girls, on lane 3, Baskin and Trisky. Lane 4, Matisse and Luca. Lane 7, Steinke and Dirksen. Lane 8, Hale and Skinner. Lane 11, Cologne and Jacobson. Lane 12, Addison Cole and Ryder. Lane 15, Halstow and Johnson. Lane 16, Kozel and Gorman. Lane 19, Porter and Topeka. Lane 20, Bow and Hustler.
All right, so everybody's moving around. We'll have our new matchups here as we get into the second round of singles competition. Again, the competitors are reseeded after the first round, so I don't have a lane assignment for folks, but I can tell you that Trevor Rauma is staying on our live stream pairs here. Looks like he's setting up shop right behind 9 and 10. Here's Luke Winter putting the bowling ball down on the ball return on lane 9. Good to hear from Drake Waite, who will be on the low end with Trey Henriksmeyer, a couple of the top performers from that first singles match. Here's Peyton Davis saying, "Let's go, Luke." Appreciate that.
You can resurface before you start, or no resurfacing. As soon as you have all 4 players for your pair, you may start.
Okay, so Ellen Singer reminding the competitors that they are not allowed to resurface bowling balls between the matches here. All right, so Levi Gabrielese. Looks like we've got Robert Vader in front of us on 9 and 10, along with Trevor Rauma, Cody Adams. Off to our right, got Addison Cole, who you can see in the lower right there, Isabella Colon, the 2 Wisconsin ladies. On the Minnesota side, Claire Jacobson and Jenna Reeder. So Rauma, who absolutely tore apart 11 and 12, getting started on 9 and 10, and that one slid by, but without any shadow balls on the new lanes, you got to kind of make a guess, see what happens, and adjust accordingly. And a nice cover from Rauma as we get our first look at Cody Adams. Adams, the co-college freshman out of St. Joseph, Minnesota, bowling out of Southway Bowl in St. Cloud. Cody's not only a bowler, he golfs regularly. He likes fishing, plays basketball. A multifaceted athlete. And he takes care of the bucket. On the left, Robert Vader, who has appeared on the live show that we do once a week here a while back. And you'll see him come into frame here as he starts out the first game of the second match and takes down all 10. So I'm glad that things are calming down somewhat because we have Darren Hansen live with us.
Hey, Pep, how you doing?
Good. How's it going for you so far?
So far, so good.
Look at this cool graphic that I made that even has both our names on it.
And it's spelled right. That
Spelled right. It's in the right spot.
Perfect. It's like you know what you're doing.
We can only go down from here. So
You're right.
tell me what you think so far. How's it going out there for you guys?
Good first round of singles for the old MJBT. 7-3 after round one. Kids seem to be having fun. I haven't seen any upset children.
Okay.
Young adults. You know, I feel like some of these kids might have mortgages the way they look, like all these mustaches and beards and stuff.
They didn't look like that when you were in it?
No, I don't remember that.
We were just talking about the kind of the origins of MJBT with Brent Prentice. He was live in the chat talking about starting things out in August of '94 at Texatonka Lanes. Can you believe it's been more than 30 years now?
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean, a lot is owed to Chris Gamick, the original founder, with his untimely passing, and the parents that stepped in and just kept it going until I was able to come into play. 30 plus years is pretty impressive for any organization.
Yeah, for sure.
And even since 2017 when I took over, like that first year, I had some events where I had more girls entries than guys entries.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of the roller coaster of entries. Now I get way more guys than I do girls. So girls, if you can hear me, please, if you enjoy the sport, if you enjoy getting better, long format tournaments like the WYBT and the MJBT, 6 to 9 games, you learn about transition, you learn how to play different parts of the lane. And ladies, you have a lot of opportunities to go on with your education if you enjoy the sport. So,
yeah, couple things about that. First of all, Zach Singer's in the chat saying hello.
Hi, Zach.
Glad to see him watching from wherever he's at. And the other thing, you mentioned that getting better, learning about transition, learning to make good shots, the value of spares. If you want to bowl in college, really at any school, at any level, this kind of thing, a scratch tournament tour, be it MJBT, WYBT, any of the others, is really going to get you a leg up when you're trying to get on those teams.
Yeah, absolutely. You get to college, there's no handicap. You're bowling for score. And I get there's, when we were young, we didn't have an organization that offered a handicap format or anything like that outside of your association tournaments. So you learned how to get better quick.
Yeah.
And more often than not, we were bowling against kids 6-8 years older than us. I mean, I remember bowling my first MJBT, and I think I was bowling against like some 20-year-olds. I'm like, well, I don't really belong here yet, but I like it. I want to get better, so let's see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to get better by watching from the sidelines. And here's a guy who knows that for sure. Brent Prentice saying, I believe he said, "God bless."
Brent should probably be more focused on fixing his dock right now. He should probably focus, get down to the lake, get that lift fixed. I'm still waiting for my next invite out to the cabin. Summer's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Maybe we can, have Blake have a heart attack. The first time we went, Blake was quite a bit younger, and Brent took us out on his big whatever the recreational. It's not like not a 4-wheeler, but it's a big 4-wheeler where the seats. I don't know what the official name is for it, but it got stuck. Yeah, ATV. And it got stuck. We were in like this mud puddle, and like Brent didn't have signal on his phone, and Blake freaked out. He thought we were done, and it was hilarious.
Oh, let's see. Now you got a great story to tell.
Oh, absolutely.
About it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's the other thing about these events. You create memories, you create stories, you create friendships that last forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me personally, 95% of my friend group and people I hang out with, I met through this game.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at my wedding photo, outside of my brother, everybody else is a bowler. So I feel fortunate that I've been part of this bowling family. I feel fortunate that I've been able to give back to the game that's given a lot to me. And it's just, it's good to see these kids grow. I remember Zoe and Lily when they first started bowling and how much they struggled and how much they really wanted to get better. And they're bowling great. I remember Trey bowling his first MJBT at Cedarvale to kick off a season a handful of years back. Made the cut. Phenomenal talent. But I'm like I think he had shoes that were probably just above a house shoe. I'm like, who is this? It's just fun to see these kids grow. And now Trey has I'm pretty sure he has a KR Strike Force contract because he's Captain KR. So he went from those barely above house shoes to the high level KR. So yeah, it's just great. I love it.
Around here, we've certainly, followed Trey and seen his success. Another one who's bowled both tours and had success in both is Olivia Baskin.
Yep. I did, when she walked in the building this morning, I did say, oh, there's the trader. So I will throw that out there. But, yeah, Olivia, phenomenal. Again, a great talent, has put a lot of effort going to a D. Is it technically D1?
Yep.
Yeah. D1 school next year, and one that Madison Marks is leaving. The former MJBT player went there. So, yeah. So I think Olivia has had a couple of tournaments in this season. With her bowling tomorrow, she'll be eligible for the year end. So I'll get to see her and razz her a little bit more before she heads off to college.
Yeah. I've reminded her many times that Youngstown is not a state. They happen to be in the same conference with my alma mater.
Oh, really?
So come basketball season.
Oh.
Yeah.
So where did you go?
I finished at UW Milwaukee.
Okay.
So they're both Horizon League teams in the other sports, but in bowling, man, what a powerhouse they've turned
Yeah,
into.
absolutely. And even like this last December, Blake's co-college team decided to go to the big Vegas tournaments that they have right before Christmas.
Mhm.
You know, and back when I was in college and we went there, it was at the Showboat, and now it's at South Point. But to see that building filled with not only all these college teams, but all the parents that traveled to support. You know, we didn't have that at Showboat. I don't remember any spectators for the U of M bowling team outside of ourselves.
Yeah, ours either.
So it's great to see, and I wish these college kids had a little bit more time to actually bowl league, because I don't think a lot of them do. They're bowling every weekend. It's not like they have to bowl league,
Right.
But that team concept applies there, and you know, that's one thing about college. You know, there's a lot of personalities that are kind of individualistic, and then there's personalities that are team oriented. It's all about that. You know, you might have 7 guys or girls traveling, and only 5 are playing. The other 2 better be cheering. And I saw that a lot. So
Yeah.
I've always liked the team concept in bowling.
When you're in it, there's just nothing like it.
Right.
There really isn't.
Right.
Tell us about the MJBT team for this. I mean, I live streamed the first one. There's a few that are still here from there, but some are newer faces.
Yep.
What kind of personalities do you have here, and what should we know about these ladies and gentlemen?
Well, I try to put smiles on their faces before every event. I say good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and I make all the kids say it.
Mhm.
And the first time they say it, they're not loud enough for me, at least. But I remember back in our day, there was always a lot of friction between people, and I do not see that at all. Like, they're friendly with each other. They're always, if somebody's struggling during qualifying, they're trying to help them out, or encouraging them. And that's something you don't see that often. Even when I was collecting the first round of scores, I was out on the high end, and I think a men's pair got done. They walked over to the ladies' pair and started cheering them on. I think one of the girls doubles to win her point. So, it's stuff like that. That's what I really like to see. Somebody might be struggling, my kid included. My kid struggled to start, but he was on the pair with Adam Hazeltine, and he was saying, "Don't worry about it. It's 2 games, total pins. It's not individual matches."
Mhm.
Blake ended up winning his point. So, against a phenomenal player in Braden Malich. So, it's. I mean, Fef, you can look across. For the most part, you see a lot of smiles, see a lot of laughing.
Yep.
You see a lot of camaraderie between both organizations. And a lot of that is from, a lot of the older kids that are in college that see each other every weekend. They get to hang out, and generate those friendships there. And it's just good to see them continuing here.
Yeah. When we were in that first match, we saw Trevor Rauma, who just caught a nice break there on lane 10, just absolutely destroy 11 and 12. He went 240, 250. Drake Waite down on the low end went 250, 270. I mean, that's got to feel pretty good too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Dakota, the first game, that he had the front 8, and then I think he had 230 the second game. So, again, I think it's a lot of these kids are bowling with each other every month, so they kind of know what each other does, and they can help each other out. I find it amazing that Zach and Lucas were on the same pair together to start, and then after the reseeding, they're on the same pair again. So that's probably good that they're doubles partners, because they throw the same scores, obviously.
Sure. Yeah. Now, tell us about, there's, at least there was, maybe there still is, a difference in kind of the age cutoff with these 2 tours, because you've got some college players. You've got Zach Andreessen, a couple of the ladies that were college bowlers, but there is a cutoff. Is it at 20 for MJBT?
So MJBT is U20 as of August 1st.
Okay.
If you're on 20 on August 1st, you are ineligible. When I first took it over, it was 24.
Oh.
And I thought that was way too old.
Yeah.
Like that didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. At 24, I think I might have had a mortgage.
Yeah.
So I changed it to the USBC rule at that time in 2017, which was 20 as of August 1st. And then a couple of seasons after that, they changed the youth age to 18. So if you're 18 on August 1st, you have to sanction as an adult. I didn't like that either. I still thought that U20 was a good cutoff. So I was able to keep it. MJ is officially sanctioned as an adult youth event. Because we only meet once a month, we don't have the safe sport thing that we have to apply with adults. It doesn't apply to us because it's not regular and consistent contact. So that's why I was able to keep it. And I want to say, I think the WYBT might be U22. I really don't know what their age cutoff is. Sure. I'd have to look at their rules. But I do know that first year was substantially older. And we really didn't have a chance. Like, I think my oldest kid that first year was probably Lucas and Zach, and they were, I don't know, 16. So that was something Zach and I talked about, and he had agreed to adjust it down. And I think even for this, he reduces it outside of his normal scope. So just to try and keep the play field a little bit fairer.
Yeah.
But there is one, this Henry for WYBT. I mean, I think I'm so old. He looks like he's 8, and he throws it great.
Yeah.
So I don't know where he lives, but wow. Shot 215.
I might be able to tell you that.
So good. And he just beat Zach Andreessen. So there, Zach is now probably 20, I would assume. He just shot 190, lost to Henry's 215. So there you have it. You don't need all the age divisions.
Right.
I mean, if you're bowling on a scratch tour, you're bowling on a scratch tour.
Yeah.
But yeah,
maybe I don't have his age.
I was very, like, I saw him during Shad's. I was just walking through and I'm like, wow, like really, really good.
Yeah.
Posts every shot.
Yeah, it's a different game when you get the younger players in there. There's a lot of power. There's you see speed, you see rotation, and when that transition hits, it's not like in league. It's you're jumping
3 zones,
buco boards.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to watch, like me being left-handed back in the day, lefties stand on the big dot and throw it over a second arrow. And now you watch most bowling tournaments just with the powerful equipment. The right side of the lane kind of turns into the same thing every tournament. Mm-hmm. They break them down. They use all this heavy stuff, heavy equipment, a lot of surface, and pretty soon they're into 4th, 5th arrow. Yeah. And I know there's not an answer for it, at least not yet. Equality probably won't truly ever be there in the grand scheme. Just because of the volume of players on the left and on the right. And there's been times, like I had a period where I had quite a few left-handers. And I thought, well, maybe if I just kept the left-handers on the same pair for a tournament so they could see transition. And that's one of the reasons why when I was invited to join the Lefty Mafia for Nationals back in 2015, I'm like, absolutely, because I want to see the lane change. I want to be able to develop that spot and get in to throw it to it. So it's something different that not a lot of us seen, and it's taken that group of left-handers a long time to try and figure out transition. And last year we had a great event, so
yeah,
it's fun.
So the 3rd year now of the Border Battle, and I'm very thankful that you've come back to Wagner's each and every year. That makes it nice and easy for me. And of course, great to have this, this excellent competition in this area. We don't see it quite as often as some places do. What do you think has worked well for you in not only, establishing this event, but maintaining it through these past couple years?
Well, first, it's the parents' willingness to travel. I'm pretty sure the WYBT has a lot of their events on the eastern side of the state, so they got to travel a good amount of distance. Especially now, nothing's cheap. So, parents, thank you. And it's the support of the kids want to do it, and we want to do it. So that's just what it is. And I feel like our kids bowl it to have fun, and I see a lot more seriousness on the WYBT side.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the team meeting, like I said, let's just have fun. If you have fun, you're gonna bowl well. Like before every CBA, good luck and good bowling. One of my tournament teams I bowled on, have fun, bowl good. So you can see the competitiveness, and I think once they start bowling, and if they happen to get a lead, then their competitiveness on the MJ side kind of kicks in. I saw some, I had a couple girls that came down and tournament scores. I doubled in the 10th to win. So, I think they enjoy that. But ultimately, if the kids aren't willing to do it and the parents aren't willing to travel, this wouldn't happen.
Right.
So it all comes back to the athletes and their parents. So, and if we didn't have a bowling center to host, it wouldn't matter. So huge thank you to Wagner's for allowing us to come in these last 3 years. And I still miss the 40 lane side. So
yeah,
I might have to see if the Bloody Marys are still good when we're done today.
Oops, they're still pretty good. I can vouch for that. But I also have a little one of those for you.
Yes,
yeah,
there it is.
Just so you can see what he's talking about there.
That's right. And I vaguely remember like that side they had the blue triangles.
Yep.
But on this side, didn't they have green?
Green.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
See, my memory ain't that bad.
Yeah, Charlie Tapp sent me a postcard with those pictures on it. And
that's awesome.
you can. I know you can't see it in what we're looking at here, but there's a picture on the wall that is the same.
Yep, same picture.
So
yeah, back in the days when the CBA would have their November event here. Whew, there are a lot of stories that we cannot tell on this live stream.
Better suited for a different audience.
That's right. Correct.
Yeah. So that's great that the kids are having fun with this. They're enjoying being here. But if memory serves, Wisconsin has won the first
yes, they've
two.
They've won them all. Correct.
So what was your message to the team to kind of get them pumped up for this and try and get them over the top here?
I would be like, hey guys, I paid for that trophy, so I'd like to be able to put the MJBT on there one time before I retire from this event. So maybe that was all they needed, with the early round, 7-3 lead. We'll see what happens. And but ultimately, I don't care if we win or lose. I really don't. Again, yeah, as I've continued on in my career, and after that surgery that I had that kind of made my competitive days go away, I look forward to the social aspect of the game. And, the guys and gal that I see at nationals once a year, that time goes by way too fast. So I'm happy that we have group chats and text messages so we can stay in contact. But it's if we win or lose, it doesn't matter. If the kids feel like they performed the best they can, that's really all that matters to me.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, if one of them wins, might be a little bit better.
Sure. Saw Robert Vader finish up a 242 with an open in it, so put together quite a few strikes there.
Teammate Bager.
Over on the right, we got a 223 there, and I don't know if that was Addison or Jenna.
That was probably Jenna.
Jenna Rita. Okay. And she bowls for a college, doesn't she?
She bowls for Co. So
for Co.
the freshman year, this last freshman year for Blake, my son also had Dylan McCauley, Jenna Reeder, and Cody Adams. So 4 of their freshmen are from the MJBT.
So I remember her because she was at the National Collegiate Club Championship, which they won.
Yep.
All right. So Brent harkens back to the many memories of the Bloody Mary Open. He said 240 events and stories, but he meant entries. 240 entries.
Yes, we had A and B squad.
Oh my gosh.
So 120. So we had 3 on the lane. 5 games, and the other squad would come in. And I think originally it was A squad, then B squad, and then A squad, and then B squad. And then they did it where A squad would bowl all 10 and B squad, and then they re-oiled and B squad bowled all 10.
Okay.
And there was a period where you had to alternate because B squad seemed to be doing better than A squad.
Squad equity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was, that was just, 240 people. The bar was packed every night. There are poker games going on. That's when the Hankies owned the White House, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we could just go out that door by lane 1 and take 10 steps and be in our hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Hankies were great hosts. A lot of poker games going on around the pool. Whew. A lot of shots, stuff. And we don't see anything like that really around this part anymore. We don't see any of those, 240 type entry events.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if we'd have Southtown is the only center I can think of that is big enough to host it in Bloomington.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's 48, and I think everybody else is either 32 or 24 in the cities.
Yeah.
Is there another bowling center here in Eau Claire besides?
There is. Yep. Okay. The former Wagner's West is now called Bullwinkle's, and that is a 24-lane center.
Okay.
Great house. They actually just hosted our association's Hall of Fame ceremony.
Oh, okay.
And great league there on Wednesday nights with a bunch of names I'm sure you'll recognize, Kurt Hankey being one of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
I assume Wurs bowls in that
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Wurs, Terry Halita.
Oh, yeah.
Warren Mansky. Bob Wolf, I believe, is in that league.
Okay.
I know he's in one of them. So, yeah, a bunch of CBA players still going after it. Ray says, let's go Callie Trisky, and let's go Dakota France from Florida.
Yeah, good old Ray. Fellow left-hander.
Yeah.
Lives down there. He used to bowl here in the cities. I think I bowled league a couple years with Ray over at Hopkins or Tuttle's.
Okay.
Way back in the day. That was a long time ago, too.
Yeah.
I've known Ray a long time. But he's good friends with Dan, so whenever he is in town, they make sure they get together. And, Callie and Dakota being a couple, trying to be a power couple.
Sure.
In the Minnesota youth bowling scene. And it's amazing the different pacing. Like,
yeah,
these guys are halfway through game 2. These guys are starting game 2. These girls, I think, are done. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah, it's
Lucas Herzrud with the front 7.
Oh, yeah.
Zach is stepping up in the 7th, working on a double. Yes, Zach is throwing reactive.
Oh.
Let's put that on the calendar.
Yeah. If I'm bowling against him, that's bad news.
Right. I'd be trying to throw like a backup plastic ball to give him some carry down so it doesn't work.
Right.
And again, like, I don't know if you noticed, but like the second round, it was every other pair. It was a boy pair, girl pair, boy pair. And then it flips.
Yeah.
So all the boys pairs, girls are bowling on now and vice versa. And there was a pair down there. A couple girls were throwing urethane. The guys went to it. and their first shot hydroplaned, just dead missed the head pin.
Okay.
So that's part of the thing you got to learn.
Yeah. Make a guess
Yep.
and then adjust from it. Now, are the opponents across from each other
I believe
now?
so, yes.
Okay, because they weren't in the first.
Well,
in the
I
first
told
match.
most of my kids to try and be across from each other because Zach's lane breakdown, he had the people on the pair, and we had the people, but he had like three. Like I think Zach was on 3, and his opponent was listed to be on 3.
Yep.
And I think most kids like to have it across. So I said, just put it across if you want.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
From where I'm sitting too.
As long as everybody's on the same pair and you're bowling who you're supposed to be, that's all that matters.
Right. Yeah. It works out. Yeah.
And it's not like we're bowling for $10,000.
Right. 9,800.
Yeah. Just shy.
Right.
Just shy of that.
Yeah. Where is your next event? I mean, obviously we've got the combined event tomorrow.
Yep.
But after that, where does the MJBT go?
June is our year-end event up in Alexandria, Garden Center Lanes. We do an old school CBA 2-day event because we have all the added money from all the entries that we get throughout the year. There's added money and scholarship from the Alexandria USBC. So Saturday is 10 games of qualifying. Top 8 boys, top 8 girls come back on Sunday for round robin match play. Those that don't make the cut, we do like a non-qualifier sweeper. A lot of that donation from the Alex USBC goes towards that to fund that prize fund. So yeah, and then I'm already working on. I only got 1 month left to fill for next year's schedule, and with Brent and Cedarvale going under construction here at the end of the USBC with his new pin setters, he is not able to host the kickoff event. So August, we don't bowl in July because of junior gold.
Okay.
So the 25-26 season will be kicking off at Dracula's.
Oh, okay.
The first weekend of August. So trying to get a couple new centers. I have Bogarts signed up for April of 26. We'll actually go to Cedarvale in May of next year. So this is probably the last year of the border battle.
Oh.
So
are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I spoke to Zach earlier a few weeks ago about it. So it's been tough to get girls, and I don't think I would have enough to even field a girls team next year.
Oh.
Okay. So that's part of it. Because Jenna will probably be ineligible. Callie will be ineligible. I think there's a couple more girls that'll age out, and then we're just not getting. Like I said, we're not getting the girls' entries. We're getting 10 to 12. And again, it's just part of the roller coaster, and it's not like it won't ever come back either. If I can get it where I have enough girls. Like I said in the beginning, I had a lot of girls, and I always thought that like when the Brooke Salzmans went away or the Hannah Roars.
I was going to say Brooks aged out.
I think so. Like, because her and Zach are the same age.
Right.
So I think Zach, Lucas, and them are all done after this year.
Okay.
Yeah. And Brooke is always at the Queens this week.
Yeah.
So Brooke has never been able to bowl in one of these.
Yeah.
So now I forgot what I was saying before that. My age is now coming into play.
You were talking about the struggles to get to field a girls team and how a lot of the players are kind of reaching the top of that age cap.
And I see high school bowling in Minnesota, all kinds of bowlers. I don't know how to get those kids to. I don't know if some, when I was younger, you're a bowler. Mm-hmm. It's not the most glamorous thing in the world.
No,
but it's not the easiest thing in the world either.
Right.
You tell people, oh yeah, I bowled a tournament this weekend. It was 10 games of qualifying on Saturday, 12 games of match play. I went through the step ladder for another, so I bowled 30 games in a weekend. People are like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I got to, you know, and I don't think I'm in. Oh, wait, pause. Lucas, front 11.
Oh,
Going for 300.
you'll see it on the right side of your screen there.
There
On
it is.
lane 13. And that's where he left the 3 pin. So 299 for Lucas.
Hard to
Hertzberg.
throw that last one with both hands around your neck, Lucas.
Yeah.
Zach was trying to make a run to try and get back in the total pins aspect. Henry struggled a little bit early through the last 3 here, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
So I mentioned the live streaming or the live scoring page, which again, I put the link in the chat. You can also find it on the 2 Tournament Tours Facebook pages. But understand that Wagner's is also a lane talk house.
Oh,
So you can get live scoring there on a free account. So
I did not know that.
If you have someone who you're trying to follow scores for, yeah, that's one way to do it.
You can find their lane assignment on the Google Docs link.
Yep.
And then pull them up on Lane Talk and follow right along.
Sure. Yeah, that was something that they just put in place over the past season. It was early this past season that it started, so, and it's nice. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose I better go start collecting scores.
Okay.
Thanks again,
Fef.
Fef.
You want to let people know where they need to go to get involved in the MJBT?
MJBT.org is our website. Our main platform for social media is Facebook. Everything is on one of those 2 pages. My email is mjbtdirector@gmail.com. Facebook message my personal page or the Facebook page. I'm pretty much available almost anywhere. On the website, on our website is my cell phone number, so that's available to use for texts or phone calls. I try and, if you call and I'm not able to answer, I will get back to you. My general rule is within 24 hours, just like in the corporate life that I have during the week. So, again, Fef, I really appreciate you coming out.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the invite. I mean, that means a lot to me to know that you guys were satisfied enough with the first year of this that you wanted me back. And
I mean, any visibility for the kids is good visibility.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be live streaming from your cell phone and I would still have it, so anything that we can get to get their kids' names and have something that they can go to and, hey, look at this shot, or, go back and look, I think is great. So, yeah, probably go collect some scores. Maybe I'll come back during the doubles, one of the round of the doubles. Get Zach's mom up here.
Yeah.
She been up here yet?
Not yet.
All right.
Busy lady, but
No, she is.
hopefully we can hear
We'll
from
get her
her
up
too.
here.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens here.
Sure.
All right. Thanks
All right.
again, Fef. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Darren Hansen, the Minnesota Junior Bowlers Tour Tournament Director. And joining us for a nice conversation during the second round of our singles competition here. So as we've been chatting, these kids have been striking. We'll see Robert Vader come into screen, working on 4 in a row on the left there. One went a little high and didn't take that 4-pin down. The aforementioned Jenna Reeder working on the front 5. And make it 6. So a nice start for the co-college player, Jenna Reeder. And as I mentioned, she was part of that Collegiate Club National Championship co-team that won that title as we live streamed right here on the channel in Rockford, Illinois. Great shot by Claire Jacobson. As Darren mentioned, 7.5 to 4.5 is the point lead for the MJBT after that first singles match. Again, it's a race to 41 points. So it'll take until the team matches to determine a winner. Great shot by Robert Vader coming back from that spare in the 6th. And a nice answer from Adams. Addison Cole with a great shot on 11. Now Reeder on the front 6. You've got Levi Gabrielese on the front 7. And Reeder goes up high, leaves a split, so a nice run for her.
Drake got slaughtered by Stray.
What's that?
Drake got slaughtered by Stray. Oh, he's the 161. Trey's 250.
So you're saying Minnesota's on the right side, not the left side?
Minnesota was on the right side on that one, yeah.
See Levi come into your frame on the left. Oh, nice shot, but rung that 10 pin. So string stops at 7, but great start to this second game in this 2-game match. So some of these matches have ended. Looks like Trey defeating Drake Waite, 499 to 473. Luke Winter, 418 to Dakota Francis, 379. Dawson Cole in the 350s, 358 to Lucas Herzrud's 542. Henry Leachy with 424 to Zach Andreessen's 412.
There you go. Wow. Cody, I think you need to set that back up. Yeah. I would say so.
Well, that makes up for the 10 pin. And 7. And the other 7.
So, yeah, Cody Adams with 4-bagger now. And Vader with a 10 pin on that left lane. So, 2 college stars doing battle here. Adams from Coe and Vader from Mount Mercy. Great shot from Levi. He can Still come out of this with a 279 with the last 3. As Vader puts 10 back. A little bit light for Cologne coming off the 4-bagger there. But she still has I believe a slight lead over Jacobson, but Jacobson is working on a double now, so still a couple frames or another frame to get things done. And whoa, Rama put that one way right. Knew it off his hand.
That's the broken pin.
Yeah, that was the. Yeah. Can't go. I decided I'm not going. No golfing for you. I'll only take one round.
You want to talk?
Hi, yeah.
Gotcha.
Have a seat. We have Lucas Herzrud in the broadcast booth.
How are you?
Good. Congratulations on that match.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
243, 299. Now, the first thing I want to get out of the way here is Darren Hansen was up here while you were throwing that last shot.
Can't imagine he said anything good.
I believe the quote was, "It's very hard to strike with both hands around your neck."
Yeah, it's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darren likes to joke about, like, to Zach and I, he always says all those joking comments. Yeah.
What worked so well for you on that pair?
Well, I mean, having Zach is like a coach. He sees a picture pretty well. So, like, we had a game plan moving pair to pair because we were hitting the girls' pair. So, to start the first set, I think we moved 5 right or something like that to start the game. So, I think, got me in the right part of the lane, I guess.
Yeah.
Right ball. I tried a fill ball down there with the Storm Equinox, and I guess that was the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Bombs away from there, huh?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of this event? I mean, you're one of the ones who's really been here every time with Minnesota.
Yeah, it's always fun to come down here and bowl against all the WYBT guys. Are good friends. It's always fun because I live farther away, like 5 hours away, so I always stay with like Zach and Brooke and all them. So it's always fun to make a weekend out of it. I think Zach and I are going to golf tomorrow.
Okay.
Hanging out. So yeah, it's always fun to have a good weekend with all these guys. Come out, compete with the best in Wisconsin, I guess.
Where are you playing? Wild Ridge?
No, we're going back to St. Cloud, Minnesota. It's Oak Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going with Brady Stearns and Brady Gustafson.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good foursome.
Yeah, playing for some money, so hopefully Zach and I can sneak some bucks.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Travis bowled MJBT around the same time that I did.
Yeah.
And he had a lot more success than I did.
That's hard to believe.
Not afraid to admit that. But what has that been like to kind of have that family background in the sport as you've come up and really started making noise?
I mean, I've had a coach from the beginning, basically. Like either mental coach or physical coach. He's always been there. They always give me the best opportunities, my parents, driving around the whole nation, going to bowl. I'm very fortunate that, my parents own a third of a bowling alley. And then, building good connections in that bowling alley. I've had time to practice all summer long, free bowling, free oil. So, I mean, just, having like my dad's friends in the bowling world kind of, puts the foot in the door with all these opportunities, bowling around the nation, making good friends or whatever. So, I mean, it helps a lot, definitely. And it's always, a good friend on the road. Yeah. Sitting in 8-hour car rides, talking to my dad, doesn't get much better than that.
Sure. You talked a little about Zach and having him on that pair to kind of help strategize. What should we know about the other members of this team? We saw Drake Wade have a nice hot start.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I mean, they're the best in Minnesota right now. So, I mean, there's not much to say that hasn't been said already. Drake, Cody, and all them. Drake's going to be going to college soon. Cody's already in college. Blake Hansen's in college. Joe's in college. So, I mean, they know what they're doing. I mean, you put them on anything, they're going to know how to strike.
Sure.
So, I mean, it doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah. How does this house compare to some of the others that you bowl MJBTs at?
I don't really know. This is like probably my third time bowling here, and I don't really pay attention to all that like technical stuff. I kind of let my dad and all them figure all that out. But I like the Brunswick like approaches and all that. Mm-hmm. I like those better than the AMFs.
Okay.
So I just feel more comfortable in the center, I guess you could say that. But yeah, I don't know.
Cool. Well, good luck to you the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad you came over. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks for live streaming.
Yeah, you betcha. Lucas Herzrud with a great second match and a few minutes to kind of break it all down for us here. One of the stars of the Minnesota Junior Bowlers Tour. And you can see that Levi ended up with a 268. Vader 238. And then 192 and 215 on the Minnesota side there. And some nice scores on the ladies pair as well. 223, 217, 2-0, and 211. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Again, the tournament staff tabulating scores and figuring out who the winners were. I can pop up some of these scores so you can see where we're at here. Again, these are being tabulated, so they're not all in just yet, but you can see that among the winners, Trey Henriksmeyer, Luke Winter, Lucas Herzrud, who we just heard from, Henry Lacey, Adam Azeltine, Dylan McCauley, and on the ladies' side, you had Mackenzie Matisse, Emma Dirksen, Zoe Skinner, and Jenna Reeder. Yeah, Jenna, 220, 220, 446. Maggie Porter, Alyssa Hessler, also among the winners.
Sure.
Yeah, let's get Jenna over here. We were just looking at your scores.
Yeah.
And
223.20.
yeah, they're outstanding. So that's great. Tell me about this pair, about 11 and 12. What went right for you?
It wasn't more so the lane. It was more so me this time.
Okay.
Because I was on the pair to the right before, and I shot good the first game.
shot like crap the second game, but that was just because of me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't hit my spot. I was running. I was throwing the ball really hard. And it just wasn't working out. And then this pair was a little bit better for me in the right headspace, throwing it slow, moving slow, making sure I was following through, posting at the line, all the stuff that we practice.
Yeah.
That if I don't do, I bowl bad. So clearly, if you focus on the fundamentals, it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like crossing with Claire? I mean, she throws a lot of ball.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm at a disadvantage sometimes in the realm of girls because I don't have a lot of revs, but I'm getting there.
Yep.
But Claire, we kind of stay out of each other's way pretty much because she throws left to right. I throw all right.
Yep.
So she uses more of the lane than I do. And the only time that we really cross paths is our hook points. So her hook point, she'll get out there to my line where I throw straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it helps because she also gives me a little bit of room. So she helps me because she pushes the oil out that way. So I have a little bit of a bounce.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me what it's like to be a national champion. The last time we crossed paths, you guys were, taking care of Purdue to win the National Collegiate Club Championship.
Yep.
You've had some weeks to let it settle in. What's it like? I mean, when I was in college, we didn't get a sniff of anything like that.
It was really, really fun. We had a really good group of girls this year, and unfortunately, we are losing some of them. I remember you interviewed our seniors.
Yeah.
We're losing all of them, which is really sad because they are such a big part of our team, and they are like the stepping stones of how we got there. They are our rocks. So, and it's really fun. I mean, I don't want to say I bowled, but like not that much, but they were our stones. They were our rocks, constantly bowling good. Spares, strikes. Lauren, our first bowler, she bowled amazing. And Whitney, our last bowler, our anchor, amazing. And Kat is always super consistent with her spares. And that is pivotal in college bowling, especially Baker, when you only have 2 frames.
Yeah.
So it's either a mark or an open. And then, so your job is to fill the frame. And she does a very good job of that.
Sure.
And it was really, really fun. It was a lot of teamwork, a lot of strategy, especially that last match. One of our coaches had a really, really great idea that we think helped us get to that national championship. But it was really fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the things that you can take from that collegiate experience, kind of gelling with those other ladies at Co, and bring to an event like this where there are individual components, but you're in tandem with this all-star team, right?
Yeah, it's the biggest thing that I've got from college bowling is spares matter.
Yeah.
It's a fundamental part of the game. Strikes are good. They're great, actually. The more strikes you can get, the better, obviously.
Sure.
But if you can't spare, because those games where you can't get all the strikes, where you're leaving 9 pins, like this house, you leave a lot of corner pins. I leave a lot of corner pins at this house.
I leave my fair share too.
So if you can't get those, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
You have all of your open frames. You have your low games. Like my low game was a 136. Couldn't pick up my spares. Granted, I did get screwed over a couple times with a couple bad splits, but there were some makeables that I missed, and it's just that's the biggest thing that I've taken away from college bowling is your makeables matter.
Yeah.
I mean, you try as hard as you can to make the non-makeables, so the splits, the big splits, the small splits, whatever. But your makeables, your single pins are important.
Yeah, for sure. What do you do going forward? Are you still eligible for MJBT for a while yet? Okay.
I have 1 year left. Okay. 1 year of eligibility left, and I'm really excited. I love bowling the MJs. They're so fun, and it's really, really good practice.
Yeah.
Because this is the place where I get to bowl fast, and I get to bowl all of my own games, and it's really, really good individual practice for me. And then when we get to college, it's so much slower.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you're 5 games, 5 people on a lane, and you're waiting 10 minutes in between shots. And then you have your Baker games where you only get 2 frames. So I like the MJs just because of how it's all about me, basically.
Yep, for sure. No, and because of those performances and MJs, you're here right now. So congratulations on that last singles match, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate the time. Jenna Reeder, who is a co-student, doing well here at the Border Battle. Again, we're waiting for some scores to be tabulated. There's a few matches going on the high side. Aubin Williams, Blake Hansen bowling over there right now. And after this, we'll get to our doubles matches once they get all those scores in. See if we've got some updated totals here. But yeah, if you got to see that that club collegiate championship, you know that those co-ladies can bowl. So here are the latest scores that we've got in here. So Joseph Woods Wiseman over Carter Westcott. And a few others in here. Ashley Gorman with a tight win there. 366, 354 over Ashley Kozel. But yeah, it looks like Aubin Williams and Blake Hansen, the final match, just finishing up there over on the high side of the house. If you
always using me for
if you heard that, good Lord,
no, I didn't
that was Trey.
Yep.
Who was very excited.
Absolutely.
To be here in the broadcast booth.
Of course.
Yeah. Nice job.
Okay. We're ready to start the first round of doubles. The only change we've made to the lane assignments is we're moving lanes 15 and 16 down to 1 and 2.
Why?
The boys pairs, so
Use 23 and 4.
Really quick before you start, tell me what you saw out there and what this shot is like for you.
Well, typically, because I've bowled on this a few times now over the years, and typically the gutter plays pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably around 7-8, but they hook a little more than in years past. So I went to a cleaner ball, UFO alert, moved left. I went to 11-12 on the fresh, threw them harder to get them to blend out the back ends and everything. And I thought that was much better because all the big balls were kind of burning up and just not really doing the right thing. So I balled down and moved left and kind of worked out. I mean, I bowled 490 the first match, worked out pretty well. And then I moved down to 5 and 6, which is one of the women's pairs. And ball went really straight, obviously less rev rate and everything. So I just kind of got away from the spot that was inconsistent and I moved left and threw it slower and same ball and everything.
Cool.
Just kept moving left and kept hitting it harder to make it hook. So
Okay.
pulled 500 down there. It was saw the picture pretty well. So
Yeah. Your doubles partner is Mr. Bonowell?
Henry. Yeah.
Oh, Henry
Leachy.
Leachy.
Yep.
He had a nice win this last
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Hopefully more of the same. Back in the starting pair. So
Okay.
hopefully I did them nice for myself. But
Cool. Well, get down there. I don't want to take
Sounds
too much
good.
of your time. Trey Henriksmeyer, back in Eau Claire. Great to have him back in Eau Claire. So as he said, doubles matches about to start here. Can kind of get you up to speed on the format and all that stuff in the meantime. So in the doubles, you've got standard games. A 2-game total pinfall determines the winner. Much like the singles, this has been changed over the last couple of years. It was a Baker system thing in year 1, but now we've gone to standard games and 2-game total pinfall, just like the singles matches. Winning each match earns the player's tournament tour 2 points. So double the points from the singles matches. And here, yeah, go ahead. And here are the matchups that we'll go with. Cole Williams versus Hersrud Andreessen on lanes 3 and 4. Thank you. Calsto Porter and versus Trisky Skinner on 5 and 6. I know one of the pairs got moved down to the low end, and I think that was a higher end pair, but we'll just go with this for now. Gabrielise Bonwell versus France and Hansen on 7 and 8. And then we get to our live stream pairs here, 9 through 12. Cologne and Bo against Topinka and Jacobson. You'll see that match on 9 and 10. Next to them on 11 and 12, you will see Trey Henriksmeyer, who we just got done talking to, pairing up with Henry Leachy, who had a nice win over Zach Andreessen in that second singles match. They'll go against Rauma and Waite. Steinke and Kozel against Hessler and Letha on 13 and 14 on the girls' side. Moving down the house, I believe this Westcott Winter and Adams McCauley, which was scheduled for 15 and 16, is now going to be down on 3 and 4. Cole Hale and Johnson Dirksen on 17 and 18. And there is one more match that I'll try and get in tune with here, but I do want to get back to the action as Henry Leachy and Drake Waite get things started on 11 and 12. Waite has a nice break on the 2-pin there. So again, 2 points for a doubles win. Standard games. So they each bowl their own games in the doubles. And flat 10 for Trey to start things off on lane 11. Trevor Rauma, you've seen all 4 of his games so far, so that's not a surprise there to see him flush 10 back right away on lane 12. He had a great couple games there in the first singles match. There's Ashley Bowe and Lily Topinka on her right. Lily from Mayer, Minnesota, bowling out of Country Club Lanes. High school junior. And doing battle with Claire Jacobson, who we saw on 11 and 12 last time around in singles. Nice cover for Bo. Bo is a sophomore at UW Whitewater. She is from Brillion, Wisconsin, on the eastern side of the state, kind of in that Green Bay vicinity. Warhawks always fielding great teams, both on the men's and the women's side. And she's teaming up with Isabella Colon from Crest Hill, Illinois. And she is a junior at Joliet Junior College. Front three for Drake Waite, who's been doing a lot of striking today on the low end of this house. And he's got support from my teammate and newly inducted Eau Claire Area Association Hall of Famer Warren Mansky. He just showed up. Nice break for Rauma, taking down the 4 and 7 on that high hit as Bo covers her spare. Wow. Trey really got a handful of that one, and it shot through the face, leaving him a big split. Henry gets in there with his first strike of the match. Hey, look at that. Nice cover on that. 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Got up there quickly and took it down without a problem. There's another strike for Wade, who's got the front 4. So Drake is from Stillwater, Minnesota. Bowls out of Sunray Lanes in St. Paul. 11th grader, high school, hasn't committed to a college yet, but I'm sure he'll have interest. As Trey leaves a 9 high in the pocket there. And Rauma hits for a double. So the Minnesota boys are striking often early on in this doubles match. Three consecutive spares for Bo on the left here. So the athletes will break for lunch after this doubles match. And then they'll resume after that at approximately 2 in the afternoon.
You guys have some mini tacos you want to go?
And we will also break here on the live stream. There is a second link to the afternoon competition. You'll find that in the Border Battle playlist on this channel. And on that, you'll see the second doubles match. They'll reseed after this one, just like after the first singles match. And then we go into team competition and decide a winner of this thing.
Check again down there. See a couple people ordered before.
Yeah. Well, they were going to make the seat. Yeah, there wasn't a big move, but they did took my name to Marshall, so now I usually take the name. Yeah.
All right, so Wade up in the 7th. He's got 5 in a row and a spare, and now comes back with another strike. So despite an open by Rauma, they're doing pretty well. Here's Leachy coming off 3 in a row and make it 4. And another one from Rauma. Got that 10 out, did Trey. Meanwhile, here's Topinka on 10, coming off a pair of splits with a strike. Her partner Jacobson working on 3 in a row. So dead even between these two girls' teams after about 4.5 frames here. On the boys' side, it's Minnesota leading, but Trey and Henry are piling up strikes now, too. Nice cover by Jacobson. She'll have 98 through 4 with a spare in the 5th to anchor that Minnesota team. And a big split for Lily. So it's been a struggle for her on this pair. That's her 3rd split of the game. Meanwhile, Bo on the right has yet to strike, but she's made every spare.
Did you order a cheeseburger and cheese curds? Did you order a cheeseburger? I just brought it. I just gave me my food.
Another strike for Wade. He's been perfect on that right lane. Hit all 3 in the 10th for 259. Meanwhile, Henry working on 5 in a row now. Threw a lot of stuff around that 7 pin, but couldn't get it to drop. Nice shot from Cologne, her 3rd in a row. And there's a spare for Henry. So he could punch out and be in the 240s. No, 230s, I should say. As Rauma flags a 10 pin. And all of a sudden, things are getting kind of interesting in this boys match. Trey splits the 8-9 there. As Bo celebrates her first strike of the match on the girls' side. There's a double for Waite. He may not have won that second singles match, but boy, he had some nice scores. And certainly following that up here, as he can double and likely get himself into the 250s. Got that left side to fall. 259 if he can strike on the fill ball. Henry with a fill ball strike would be at 222. And a 10 pin for Waite, but good spot for that 258 as he tries to will this Minnesota team to a win here. They've got a slight lead of about 16 pins going into the 10th for Trevor Rauma. Trey is working on a strike. Rauma takes down the 4. So he can punch out for 186. Trey still has a shot at 227 if he can strike out. And wow. How about that for some pin action? Threw that head pin all over the place. But it really looks like he's really posting that shot and great balance when he lets it go. And although he had a little shaky start, made all the spares. And now he's starting to find something, and that might be a big help. There's another strike for Trey. And that put them in the lead. I think it might get them ahead, yeah. So 433 for the team of Rauma and Waite. And Leachy and Henriksmeyer are going to go into game 2 with a lead here, as he finishes off at 227. So 448 to 433, but again, it's a 2-game total pinfall match. So anybody's ball game, but certainly a flurry of strikes there at the end for Trey to keep them out in front. Cologne chopping that 6 off the 10. All right, so a slight lead here for Team Wisconsin on the girls' side. As the boys start game 2 with Trey starting out much like he finished up the first game. And boy, Bo has made a lot of spares this game, but unfortunately hasn't found the look for strikes, and can go spare strike for 180. As Topinka hits the first one in the 10th. Still anybody's match here in the first game. Wow, nice shot from Henry trying to take down that big split, but it's just the 2 out of it. Another big strike for Trey. And Bo finishes with 178. Topinka can match that if she strikes here. And there's a high pocket 9-pin, so 177 for her. Just 10 pins separating these two girls' teams at the moment. But they do have a whole game to go in this match. Drake a little light, left that 2-pin. As Jacobson takes down the 4 for her 3rd in a row. Still a shot at 246 if she can hit the next 2. And she gets the second one. Gives it a look. Basically admitted that she tugged that one a little, but looked good on the back end, right? Trey's got a nice look here on 11 and 12, front 3. So Minnesota on the girls' side is going to go into game 2 with a lead on the strength of Claire Jacobson and a 246. So great game for her. She leads the Minnesota team to a 42-pin lead going into game 2. Boom. Boy, he is feeling it. I mean, not just the front 4, but splitting the 8-9 on every shot. That is something to see as Lily Topinka gets the 7 to fall late. Spare from Waite. Minnesota team clinging to a lead here. It's been a struggle this second game for Henry. But Trey does have the front 4 and looking for a 5th here. That trusty UFO alert that he had mentioned before in hand. And I can tell you, he's loved that ball for years. Gets him to fall, and there's the front 5. So just 2 pins separating those 2 teams. And we move into the 6th. Wow. Wow. Can't believe that 5 pin stood for weight. They'll reset that as Leachy hits a double. Nice shot by Bo, but couldn't get that 10 out. So here's Trey working on the front 5. And shakes out that left side again. So he's got 6 in a row now.
What's up?
Hey.
How you doing?
Big Toph, good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Good. Was happy to see your name on the roster for tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna bowl PDQ down in Lockport, but then I got told that it wasn't happening anymore. So I'm just like, all right, I'll drive up to Eau Claire and you go bowl that tournament.
There we go.
So 3-hour drive. Fun stuff.
I know it well.
Yeah. And after an 8-hour day of work.
Yep.
Not fun, but you know, we did it.
You did it, yeah.
I made it.
Well, good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right. So Rauma with another split. And gets 1 out of the 2. So the duo from Minnesota needs to start striking like right now, because Henry and Trey are really putting those pins down. There's another strike for Henry. 3 in a row. And that propels them into the lead by 22. And another 310 for Rauma. Back to back on both lanes of that pair. So he's going to try and take aim at that. See what Trey does off the front 6. Wow. You had to think something like that was the only thing that was going to stop him, the way he's throwing the ball, but he'll try and run down that 9 pin. And try and keep things going in the 8. Nice shot from Cologne. Both the Wisconsin ladies with 39 through 2 and a strike in the 3rd. Here's Bo in the 4th. Up high, left that 6'10" there. Henry also up high, and that leaves him some trouble. 6-7 split. Oh, high hit for Waite, and he's got a 7-10 to deal with. Oh, H, had a nice shot at that spare, but ends up with just one of the two. As Waite does the same. So a 50-pin lead now for Trey and Henry, the Wisconsin team, as Trey steps up in the 8th. Great balance, 10 back. He can hit the next 4. He'll end with 279. And Rauma takes out the 4 and the 10. And another strike for Cologne on the left. Oh. Henry was hoping to tap that 10 out of there, but wouldn't go. Nice shot by Lilly on the left. Coming off that split. Flushes 10 back. Spare for Rauma. And one for Bo as well. So Trey up on the right, looking to turn that 8th frame strike into a double, and that went high and left him with some trouble. 3-6-7-10. And 10 pin for Henry. He wanted that one. Oh, almost a great break for Cologne. Went right of the head pin, but got 9 out of it. And she'll take aim at the head pin. Missed spare for Henry at the end there. We'll end up with 153, and Trey gets 2 out of the split. So still a nice lead for Wisconsin. There's Waite working on a strike. There's a double. Certainly not over yet. You got a chance because of those strikes. Little light, left a 2 pin. So you can spare up for 203. And going to go into the 10th for Henriksmeyer and Rauma. with 10 pins separating the two. Sorry, more than 10. It's going to be 20 some. Nice shot for Rauma. So very important spare for Trey to get there. Wisconsin lead at 15. As Rauma tries to turn that 10th frame strike into a double. Oh, couldn't get that 7-pin out of there. And a 9 count for Trey, 234. And that's going to give Wisconsin the match. Despite tough game for Henry there, they are going to come out on top. 835 to 821. So chalk up 2 more points for WYBT. And they'll go into the break with that. Flat 10 for Bo. And she'll try and spare that up. They're trying to make up some ground. Minnesota had that nice lead after the first game. Wisconsin's chipping away here. Takes down the 10 pin with no problem. If you're keeping track of the point totals, it's 14-7 MJBT, I believe, going into this game, or the doubles rather, into this first doubles match. Big strike for Bo there.
That's what I look for now.
All right, here's Topinka in the 9th. And hits her 3rd in a row. So Minnesota trying to keep Wisconsin at arm's length, but they're starting to figure it out. That doesn't help, though. Went past the head pin, left a 1-2-8. Not the easiest of spares, but certainly makeable. It's a great shot from Jacobson. They knew that was a big one coming down the stretch here. So they try to maintain that lead. Nice spare from Cologne. And a 10-pin. So now all of a sudden Topinka with the last 3. Pretty important for Minnesota. They're trying to get out of here with a win. They got to build on that lead. Up high, left a 6. And a spare from Bo. As Topinka picks up that 6-pin. You may have seen that ball strike on lane 8. The 7-10 fell late. That was Dakota France. His 10th in a row. And if he hits one on the fill ball, he'll end up with 290. So 183 for Bo, 205 for Topinka. And France ends up with that 290. As Jacobson gets them all to fall. And there's a nice strike for Cologne. So she's going to be above 200. Could punch out for 224, but Jacobson hits another strike, and that's just about going to do it. Minnesota's going to win this match.
You just taking stuck in your door or on your windshield?
They were coming to my house. I mean, I had to go in the basement.
Pretend to be away.
Yeah.
White line, only 7 calls.
All right. So 213 for Cologne, 208 for Jacobson, and yeah, Minnesota get out of here with a doubles win. So I'll be right back here. I'm going to turn the microphone off, but we'll try and get you a score update before we go on the break. All right. So as you can see, the first round of doubles just coming to an end here. Try and put these scores up to show you where things are looking as the doubles scores start to come in. France and Hansen, a nice win over Bonnewell and Gabrielese. As you saw here, Henriksmeyer and Leachy holding off Rauma and Waite. Vader and Malish, wow. They really turned it up there on 19 and 20 against Woods Wiseman and Hazeltine. Stanky and Kozel with a win on the Wisconsin side.
Great bowling. Morning, everybody. We will take our lunch break and start back up at 2 o'clock.
2.
She said 2 o'clock, and that's what the schedule says, but I'm guessing we're hoping for a little bit sooner than that. We'll see, as it's just 12:30 as it stands right now. Baskin and Matisse with convincing win over Reeder and Gorman. And Johnson and Dirksen win over Hale and Cole. And we'll get to the standings as they stand again. They're still kind of coming in, so this will change a little bit as they complete the scores. So we'll stick that up there for a bit as we go on break here. And remember, the afternoon session will be on a different link. You go to the playlist, the Border Battle playlist. It's the other video on this link, or other video in the playlist will get you live coverage of the second round of doubles and the team event this afternoon. Hope to see you there. All right, so with an 18-12 lead, Minnesota goes into the break ahead. We will be back at 2 o'clock. They will start up the second round of the doubles matches and then followed by the team. Look for the link in the playlist. It's the one that isn't this link, and we hope to see you then.
Thank you for watching Bowling with the Feff. Pound the like button and subscribe button. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it's free. Bowling with the Feff is brought to you by Chip Magnet. Raise your snack standards.
Jerry's Score More Bowling Supply inside Wagner's Lane. So Eau Claire, Wisconsin area's leader in bowling products and services since 1988. And Visionary Video Hub. Video with impact.
Email bowlingwiththefeff@yahoo.com with questions or to appear on the show. You can also reach out on your favorite social media platform.